उस्ताद नुसरत फ़तेह अली खान लाइव डॉक्यूमेंट्री फिल्म आपकी खिदमत में पेश कर रहे हैं। सैयद मकसूद अली शाह कादरी, इंडिया। रियल वीडियो।
I, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, am a sinner, a man with heart impure and dark. It is like a mantle that is dotted with spots of stain and dirt. A recital of Allah's name purifies the heart. That's what I do all the time. Recite the word. This is my job, my task, my favorite hobby. I am a fakir, a beggar for Allah, and wander the streets shouting His name. Remember our God in pain, in pleasure. He will wash away the pain. People remember God only when they are in adversity. If they remember Him in good times, they will never have pain and will never experience adversity.
For more than 600 years, Nusrat's ancestors have been praising the beauty of Allah with a style of singing known as Qawwali. Now one man, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, with his mesmerizing voice and a divine inspiration, expanded Qawwali's popularity in the Indian subcontinent and brought the mystical music of the Sufis to the international stage, becoming one of the most celebrated superstars of world music. Throughout his career, Nusrat recorded hundreds of records and sold millions of copies in India, Pakistan, and the rest of the world. Nusrat's performances sold out to crowds of thousands of people, dancing, whirling, shouting Ali, Ali, and throwing money on the stage, where Khan sat, gesticulating only with his hands, as his voice conquered all the surrounding space. On August 16th, 1997, the master of Qawwali, the most famous and celebrated singer of the Asiatic subcontinent, died at Cromwell Hospital in London of cardiac arrest. Nusrat was 48 years old. His sudden death robbed the world of one of its finest artists.
his talent was very intuitive. It didn't seem like it was a honed skill so much as a channeling of energy through him. And even though at the time that we were recording, he was not in the best of health, it just seemed like the music would start and something would open in him and this beautiful sound would come out, and it's really fantastic.
It took me 6 months to put the album together, Magic Touch, and I had no idea that the album was going to become so huge with the audiences around the world. 6 months later, when the album did come out, Magic Touch, catwalks in Paris were using this album, and I was like, wow. And radio stations that don't normally play Indian music were playing this album, and I was like,
The culture of remixing in dance music often means taking one element and then practically building your own thing around it. We wanted to do the opposite of that and try and get the effect of us actually being in the studio and performing alongside Nusrat.
Nusrat Qawwali had two aspects to it. One was obviously his great voice, and then the way he used to lift the audience with the beat. And the other was, of course, the lyrics, which were all sayings of the great Sufis. So he was capable of raising the tempo of the audience to levels which normal music cannot do. I mean, I haven't seen at pop concerts people going into a trance as they used to do with Nusrat.
There's an element in Qawwali. I think part of the goal is to induce ecstasy in people, as it is in gospel music. I think they're very similar, actually. And I think in order to do that, there's a high degree of passion.
Nusrat, the eldest son of Ustad Fateh Ali Khan, was born in 1948 in Pakistan, in the village of Leelapur, today renamed Faisalabad, an eastern Punjab province. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan was the most popular singer in the Indian subcontinent. Nusrat was the first and most successful performer to bring the Sufi devotional music known as Qawwali to a new level of art and popularity.
And I could see him early in the morning. He would get up and go and sit by the sea, and he would watch the ocean for hours and hours. And one day it occurred to me that, as a matter of fact, I'm as a viewer seeing two oceans together, because this man himself is an ocean.
Our culture treats music as entertainment, and people feel passionately about it and they love it. You can live your life without music. It's a luxury. And I mean, and that's kind of true, but I think also in other cultures, music is extremely important and functional in the society. And it's an integral part of spirituality.
Qawwali was really initiated in this Indian subcontinent by the Sufis to spread the message of Islam all over the Indian subcontinent, and they found Qawwali as a way of spreading the message.
Originate from the mystical orders of Islam, Sufism, which dates back 1200 years ago.
I would say I know that from Nusrat's point of view, the music was always devotional and always about love. And even when it was a love song that sounded like it was a love song for another person, I think the roots were always love of God. And you know, I love you more than anything, and I'm there for you, and I know you're there for me. And it was always this higher spiritual place that the music took us to. And I think that's one of the reasons that when people hear the music, they're so overwhelmed by the emotion of it, is that it's such a devotional form, even if you can't understand the lyrics.
Sufis call the Qawwals the Imams of Islam, the missionaries of the faith. Their mission was to give light to everyone and to show people that there are no differences between human beings by birth. Qawwali, an Arabic word meaning utterance, is the devotional music of the mystics of the Islamic religion. Qawwali does not exist anywhere outside Southeast Asia. There are some related elements that could have been the forerunners of Qawwali. For instance, in Uzbekistan, you have Mugam. Mugam is a mumble chorus with claps. Qawwali may have originated from this genre, blending music and languages from Central and Southeast Asia in its attempt to unify and build bridges between people, rather than conflict and violence.
Qawwali music in general has a very spirit intoxicating-like quality, which is very much linked, you know, to Sufism. And whether it's music or the philosophy, it's very intoxicating. You know, it's the wine of the god.
It doesn't matter what the instrument is. It doesn't have to be a traditional, so-called traditional instrument. If you are applying those principles, if you're applying those principles to electric bass or electric guitar or even a sampler or even a drum machine, then it is Asian or Indian.
Qawwali, an Arabic word meaning utterance, is the devotional music of the mystics of the Islamic religion. The term includes both the medium and its performance. Present-day qawwals, such as Nusrat, might have attracted Western attention to the genre, but Qawwali has its origins in the 12th century when the great Sufi saint Hazraja Khwaja Muin-ud-Din Chishti traveled to India to bring the message of Islam to the Hindu nation. Qawwali evokes the name of Allah in many languages, from its original Persian to Urdu, Punjabi, Hindi and other languages of India and Pakistan. The songs and the language are chosen according to the context. The language of Persia, Farsi, is the religious language of Qawwali.
These songs have been practiced, recited and transmitted orally from Afghanistan into India and more specifically into the Punjab region of what is now northern India and Pakistan.
A group of qawwals is made up of a lead singer, one or two secondary singers, and wildly clapping junior members. By repeatedly and hypnotically chanting salient phrases, they transport audiences to a spiritual nirvana, a trance-like state that some describe akin to flying. This is an altered state of consciousness or kafayet, where because of the text and the music, you are inspired in a manner which is beyond your normal life. Qawwals have the power of provoking this level of exaltedness. During a concert, you can toss the money directly at the performers. In a small ritualized setting, you may give the money to the sheikh, the holy man, who has arranged this concert for your spiritual well-being. He will then pass it on to the qawwal, or he will hold on to it and give it to the qawwal at the end of the concert. Traditional Qawwali performances, or mayfil, are intimate gatherings in which listeners sit on the ground rather than on chairs. Purists believe this setting brings them closer to God, a state not normally attainable in stadium-size affairs. Nevertheless, large concerts like Nusrat's have audiences whirling like dervishes.
Qawwali music is very big. Eastern music is very big. Western audiences are using Eastern flavors in their productions as well. So that's why the films were so interested in getting someone like Nusrat to come in and sing.
According to Qawwali tradition, a qawwal is one who renders the belief of the Creator. One of the beliefs is that a qawwal cannot have women in front of them, because the musician would then divert their attention towards displaying sexuality rather than a more sublime message.
पूरे दी हवा चले दिल मेरा डोलदा कम कम जावा जदों का किथे बोलदा आवे ते सुनावा मैं विछोड़ा के बीमार दा आजा परदेसी आवाज़ दे प्यार दा आजा तन्नू अखियां उड़ीक दियां सजना तन्नू अखियां उड़ीक दियां रामा तक तक थक गईयां मैं कलियां रे रे अक गईयां मैं एक एक पल दिल गिन के गुजारदा आजा परदेसी आवाज़ दे प्यार दा.
He would say, "Don't tell me about any problems, let me just do my work." So I never used to tell him. Even if I tried, he would avoid it. Sometimes I would be sitting with him talking, and he wasn't even aware that I was saying something. He was completely immersed in his thoughts.
अखियां उड़ीक दियां दिल वाजा मारदा आजा परदेसी आवाज़ दे प्यार दा आजा तन्नू अखियां उड़ीक दियां सजना तन्नू अखियां उड़ीक दियां आजा तन्नू अखियां उड़ीक दियां सजना तैनू अखियां उड़ीक दियां.
In olden time, in traditional time, only particular type of women used to take part. But now, women from good families, girls from good families are entering in a music world as well as acting world, which was not possible in olden time. हथें गुला मेहंदी पैर है गुला मेहंदी हथें गुला मेहंदी पैर है गुला मेहंदी लायो नी मेडा बनायो रही मुझे कालो कवह तो रुचंबल ही मुझे माड़ो माड़ो चो आयो री.
To say that women are not part of the mehfil sama, which is the sacred concert for the Sufis and for the saints themselves, I think it differs from one shrine to another. There are females at the shrine and usually sitting in back of the qawwals listening. And on certain occasions, female members will get up and offer the nazrana, or the veil, as it's called, the offerings of money, to the musicians as well. So it's not that they're completely restricted. They're absolutely welcome to come into the shrine grounds and listen to the qawwals, but they just don't sit in front of the qawwals, because that would be sitting in front of the tomb of the saint.
हथें गुला मेहंदी पैर है गुला मेहंदी हथें गुला मेहंदी पैर है गुला मेहंदी लायो नी मेडा बनायो रे मुझो कालो कवह तो रुचंबल ही मुझे माड़ो माड़ो चो आयो री. Very particular type of women used to take acting role. Women who were courtesan or family from courtesans, that kind of women were allowed to do, even though they were also very particular about how they are portrayed.
बोले बांसुरिया सुन रे सांवरिया थारे बिना मोहे कुछ नहीं भाभी पिया रे पिया रे पिया रे पिया रे थारे बिना लागे नहीं मारा जिया रे ओ थारे बिना लागे नहीं मारा जिया रे नैना ने थारी कैसा जादू किया रे थारे बिना लागे नहीं मारा जिया रे.
My name is Nusrat and I am from Pakistan. I started singing Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's songs when I was young, and especially one of his famous songs, Piya Re, Piya Re. Nusrat would teach us very difficult songs with such politeness and humility. At first, I thought I would not be able to do it. But Nusrat's teaching and encouragement helped me a lot, and I was able to record these songs on an album as well as appearing on TV. All artists are encouraged to work at Nusrat's academy, and their continuing is a symbol of respect for Nusrat and the great work he left behind.
कर्म कमाए जेड़े भी तेरे दर ते आए ओ न कदी भी खाली जाए इको बिरदे दम दम अली अली इको बिरदे दम दम अली अली सखिलाल कलंदर मस्त मस्त सखिलाल कलंदर मस्त मस्त लजपाल कलंदर मस्त मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त.
I listen to qawwalis with a great deal of passion. I'm really affected by them, even to the extent of hypnosis. especially religious qawwali such as Allahu. He sang of such great qawwalis you can almost envision the sight of the Prophet's grave. He used to create the visions so well that one would feel as if they were there, and even I would have tears in my eyes.
The Sufi ideal is to be in the world but not of it. Free from ambition, greed, intellectual pride, blind obedience to custom or awe of persons higher in rank. A malang is someone who is no longer of this world. He goes out of a strict Sufi order and breaks his links with the world. He is totally devoted to a union with the Eternal, and he can do everything and anything that he wants to. He can run around naked if he wants to, and he can get high on cannabis if he pleases. He is prepared to take the rejection of normative society, who feel his behavior is against accepted norms. Rumi, a great mystical poet, tells us that a Sufi is drunk without wine, sated without food, distraught, foodless and sleepless, a king beneath a humble cloak, a treasure within a ruin, not of air and earth, not of fire and water, a sea without bounds. He has 100 moons and skies and suns. He is wise through universal truth, not a scholar from a book. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's ancestors came to India from Afghanistan during the last year of the 12th century, following their spiritual guide. Their mission was to attract people of India to the Muslim faith through a charming new genre of music called Qawwali.
In Basti Sheikh Jalandhar, my father and many generations of my family had settled. It was here where I was surrounded by a multitude of Qawwali singers and where songs were continually being recited and sung around me.
Nusrat's family of Qawwali singers became well known for their music and count many master singers amongst them, including Nusrat's father, Fateh Ali Khan, and brother Mubarak, who were experts in the full range of Eastern singing.
Welcome to our live performance studio at KPFA. We are honoring the presence of the master musician from Pakistan, Qawwali master Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. Welcome to KPFA. Welcome to Berkeley.
When Nusrat's father died, Nusrat was very young. Many musicians gathered together to pay respects, and his uncle asked him to sing. After some persuasion, Nusrat began to sing, and he sang a classic Qawwali song he learned 4 years ago. They were all amazed. No one had ever heard Nusrat sing, and they all wondered how he had learned to sing.
My grandfather, on my father's side, Ustad Bakshi, and my grandfather, on my mother's side, Ustad Khan, continued to steep themselves in this tradition that had been passed down to them in the same way that I was being taught, and by their grace, it was handed to me.
I think they enjoy what they're doing, but they're not just doing it for fun. I think there's some an aspect of music that's meditative, introspective, and spiritual in other people's lives.
During the 70s, music had changed, and people were increasingly seduced by the rhythm of Western pop music. At that time, young Nusrat, who had received a traditional Qawwali education, had to explore new ways to communicate his classical art to a modern audience. Nusrat's combination of skill and musical sensibility gave life to a unique sound, a blend of old and new, which was to become the international hallmark of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
Qawwali music was already popular in India and Pakistan, but the first time they really heard it in the West was in 1983 in Colchester, England, where people really began to take notice. And after that, Peter Gabriel introduced me to the Western world.
In the 80s, his music was released internationally. He also began various collaborations with artists from around the world. He recorded songs for the soundtrack of Martin Scorsese's Last Temptation of Christ, Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers, Shekhar Kapoor's Bandit Queen, and Tim Robbins' Dead Man Walking.
And then came the Natural Born Killers soundtrack. However, I made one or two mistakes there. Without my consent or any consultation, they used my songs in one or two sequences that I did not approve of. This kind of thing can tarnish the image of Sufi music.
There was this whole kind of a bit of a controversy over the use of Nusrat's music in Natural Born Killers. And I think he felt that it was an inappropriate use of his music. But I feel bad because a little bit Peter Gabriel got the blame for it. And it was clearly a breakdown in communication because I happened to be in the room when Peter said to Nusrat, "Are you interested in doing some recording for this film?" And Nusrat said yes. And Peter said, "Well, I think maybe you should see it first because it's quite a violent film and you may not feel comfortable about having your music in." And Nusrat said, "No, it's okay. If you think it's okay, then I'm happy to do it." Maybe Nusrat was trying to be polite, or maybe he couldn't have imagined what the film would be like. Yeah, I'm sure it would be quite hard, and didn't really realize that it would be as violent as it was.
Nusrat's departure from old traditions in search of new soundscapes provoked harsh reactions from some critics who felt Nusrat should be condemned for taking his experiments with Qawwali to the rank of cheap commercialization. Massive Attack produced a groundbreaking remix of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's devotional song, Must Must. And his work with Michael Brook blazed a trail of East and West collaborations.
There's a general concern in the Muslim world that in the West they are regarded as all being violent fanatics, and this is a bad prejudice, and an undeserved one. And I think that perhaps Nusrat felt he was furthering that cliche or that misconception by having overtly, Arabic, Muslim, I don't know what the right word for it is, I guess Muslim music being used in a scene of violence. And maybe he just was concerned that association was not a good one to try and develop.
I know that a lot of young musicians, Pakistani or South Asian musicians in England, used to idolize Nusrat, and he would give them whatever they asked for. He would give them their recordings, and his own recordings, and they could do whatever they want with it. They mixed his voice in with their own compositions, and that was fine with him, because he really kind of wanted to keep that connection of these young people to Pakistan.
If there's a Punjabi crowd in the house,
I had no idea what this guy was going to sing. I had no idea what this guy was going to do. All I know is that he sits on the floor, crosses his legs, and just does his thing on the mic. So I had no music prepared, I had no pre-production done. I just put some drum beats down, and Nusrat came in with his party and sat on the floor and just sang a few different tunes. And he asked me, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, as usual, give me something slow and give me something fast, so I have a good selection of what you can do." The beauty about what really amazed me was his ability in doing everything in one take and no retakes, basically. And I thought, this is so fascinating, amazing.
He was a brilliant composer. He had a lot of simplicity in his music. His compositions were very organic, very appealing, very simple, fundamentally based on ragas and very minimalist almost, with an incredible power and incredible energy of the vocal. It's kind of very strange for me to talk about his music because I don't feel qualified enough personally to talk about such a great man.
Wherever he traveled, if he went to Spain, he listened to flamenco artists, and that became part of his repertoire, his style. And it's not because he was aiming to change his style. He never was. He just was able to incorporate so much.
The way I did the soundtrack of Dead Man Walking was after Peter Gabriel introduced me to Tim Robbins. It was thanks to Peter's praise and respect for me that he convinced Tim Robbins that I was a very good and talented artist and that I was the right artist for the soundtrack. After hearing my music, Tim Robbins and Eddie Vedder came to my concert in New York and brought a cassette from me to listen to, the Dead Man Walking idea.
I've heard that he was going to make certain albums with very famous Western musicians and singers. And it's a pity that death took him away from us so early, because he was very young. He was around 50. And perhaps if he had been given 10 more years, he would have given us I just can't imagine what he would have done, because I really believe that he had just started. You see, with all his efforts, he had opened the doors of what you call world music, and now he was going to do what he could do.
Sare re re ma 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 ba 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 ni ni da da ni ba ma ni da ni ba ma re da re ni da ni sa re da sa ni sa ni sa re sa 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 ni sa 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 da sa re ma 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 sa sa da sa re ba 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 sa sa da sa re ni 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 sa sa da ni sa re sa sa da sa ni ba re ba ba ma re ma re sa ni ba re ba ba ma re ma re sa ni da ni da ba ma re ba ma re sa ni आजा तेनू अखियां उड़ीक दियां डोलना तेनू अखियां उड़ीक दियां नुसरत खां तेनू अखियां उड़ीक.
If somebody has fulfilled their life quota, so to speak, you know, and they're near the end, then, you know, the death is not such a bad thing. It's time for them to move on. And we didn't understand why he was taken.
The voice of heaven never dies, it's been handed down. And tonight, Rahat Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan is here to carry on his music of peace and spiritual love.
After we did that song and soundtrack, a lot of people appreciated the music. Spread love and love each other in this world. They struck a chord with people, and that's why people really enjoyed the music.
For hours and hours, he would play the same tune, again and again, with minor changes, with slight improvisation. And then he'll sit down, and he would watch around, looking into the space, and then again he'll come back. He was, on one hand, he was like a worshipper. On the other hand, he was like a child who was playing with a toy.
With the Sufi kalam, as we say, the Sufi sayings, he would cast a spell on the audience, and I must say I've had the privilege of sitting through some of these evenings, which were supposed to be fundraising evenings, and normally fundraising evenings are a bit of a hard work. But with Nusrat, it was a pleasure sitting and listening to this great master.
We did many shows for Imran Khan, for his charity. Khan Saab wouldn't take any money for the show, but Imran Khan would give money to cover the musician expenses. Khan Saab also did many shows for cancer research.
Nusrat's message of love and peace was pure and intense that it reached people of all races and religions. Nusrat had one daughter, Nida. Since the tradition of Qawwali has been forever forbidden to women, the most direct family descendant and recipient of Nusrat's secrets is his brother Farooq's son, Rahat. Surrounded by Qawwali since birth, Rahat began playing with Nusrat in 1988 at the age of 10. In 1998, upon Nusrat's death, Rahat's talent was so developed that he became the leader of his family's Qawwali party.
Having seen them perform together, you really saw how much wonderful experience Rahat got being with Nusrat and having to push himself to the level of Nusrat, because they would duel back and forth.
The applause is not part of the Qawwali tradition. It is a more recent phenomenon of public concerts. During the Qawwali performance, the audience is not allowed to clap. Clapping is considered a Western way of showing appreciation.
I was 7 years old, and the stage seemed very big. He sat next to me with his harmonium. On one side was my father, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. On the other was my teacher, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. No one sat in front of me. It was like I was sitting at home. And in his presence, I sang very well.
Obviously, they both have absolutely otherworldly voices, but in very different styles. And there's something very interesting that I noticed when we were recording Rahat when he sings, it almost seems as though the words are not coming out of his mouth. It's like the rhythm that his mouth is moving and the sounds that you're hearing don't go together. It almost seems like a dubbed film. And it's very strange looking through the glass and watching someone sing and really listening very clearly to what he's singing and not seeing that relationship of not really understanding where it's coming from. It's very magical.
When Nusrat started his training with Rahat, Rahat was only 3 or 4 years old. He used to have a pacifier in his mouth, and he would be sitting on Nusrat's lap. Nusrat would start to play the harmonium and encourage Rahat to join him by taking the pacifier from his mouth.
Since 1985, I have been accompanying my uncle Nusrat on world tours. Throughout my life, he has always looked after and cared for me deeply. When he saw the potential of my talent, he asked that I be given to him as a son and started giving me formal training.
Nusrat now started to instruct Rahat in the finer details of accompanying his voice. When to go high, to go low, when to follow, when to lead. After all, he was a child and had to be gently eased into the music and the technique.
First, he trained me in the classical tradition, and later he trained me more specifically in the art of Qawwali and in other styles of music. Whenever I'm performing or singing in front of a big audience, I always take comfort in the fact that I'm with the one who taught me everything I know. And it gives me great confidence to know that I am with my family and my friends.
Rahat feels he has the responsibility to continue both the work and the family name. Now as the leader of the party, Rahat must continue the legacy that Nusrat has left behind.
It's still fairly new to Westerners. I hope that Westerners can really embrace it in its classic form.
I really think you can't separate the art from the religion in the case of Nusrat. I mean, it's all rolled up into one. He was first and foremost a traditional khayal. And he lived and breathed music.
लालनी मेरा पिया घर आया, पिया घर आया, सानू अल्लाह मिलाया, पिया घर आया, सानू अल्लाह मिलाया, हुण आपे करदा निहालनी मेरा पिया घर आया, हो लालनी मेरा पिया घर आया। घड़ी घड़ी घड़ियाल बजावे, रैन बसल दी पिया घटाए, मेरे दिल दी बात जो पाए, मेरे दिल दी बात जो पाए, हथों चा सुटो घड़ियालनी मेरा पिया घर आया, हो लालनी मेरा पिया घर आया, घड़ियाल